Hi Fanny, it's good to speak to you earlier. Do that more often, okay? Contact me. You've sent me this. It's just come through, so I've just had a quick run through it. Obviously, you haven't included the destroying the letters. You said you weren't happy with that. I still would like to see it, so send it, because I might say just to change, make some changes. It might be fine. So send that again anyway. The derive. This looks great. I think there's some really good bits. I particularly like this because I think the colour is so good. The red, black, white and yellow, and there's the greys. I know that this, I don't know if this is exactly following what I set, but this looks great. I like the car badges, and the leaves are also good. But the one I really like is this. I can't open it much bigger because you never sent me the actual images themselves, okay? And I know that English is not your first language. It's leaves, Leves, and obviously that's not leaves. Okay, so just go through and just change those. But I think the sets of images look really good together, and just as a piece of graphics, this looks fantastic. I think that's a really strong set. Works really well together. Okay, so I think you are very much nearly there with this. This one, tick. Okay, and looking great. Since I've got the infographic open, it's really simple, and I know that you put this. I wonder if it needs much more in terms of illustrations and things. I quite like the simplicity of it. I almost prefer this. I think this is a really good idea. There's several factors, then splitting it out like that. I think it's quite clear. So again, I really don't think you're that far from this. And again, I think don't overdo it. Don't fill it. Don't now go away and fill it full of illustrations and ruin it. Not to say you would, but don't feel the need to do much more to this. So again, I think you're quite close on this. If we just have a look at the others, the pattern one, the mock-ups are great. Okay. Excellent. I think the patterns are really strong as well. Okay, where we're at the moment is that these are still very much Photoshop mock-ups. Okay, in this one, obviously, it says soft cover book mock-up. I think what would make this into a much better piece, and if you then wanted to use this as your self-initiated task as well. Just clean up these, so it doesn't say soft book cover mock-up. But what I would really like would be to take, say, the beer is possible, but I like the loose tea idea. And what was the other one? Was there another one? No, it's just those two. But I think the loose tea, or maybe something of a book or something, but the loose tea, it would be really easy to extend this into being a brand. Okay, so there's the loose tea. What would a box of these look like? What would an Instagram, a Twitter ad or a Facebook ad for loose tea look like? Using the same thing, using the same patterns that you've got. And I like these patterns. I think they're really quirky. They look really fun, and so I think it would be a good thing just maybe for the self-initiated, but maybe even for this, just to expand it just beyond it being a Photoshop mock-up into something that represents a brand. Okay, so make this into an advert. Have some more options. Maybe you have maybe there's a spoon that comes with it, with a little bit of the icon on it or something. What might the logo look like if you're using this as the brand? Is there almost like a beer mat that you have on a table that you might have? Is there a cup? Could you make this a pattern? The idea of the pattern into a brand. Loose tea makes sense because they're spaced out. So this I really like. I think it works really well. I think your pattern works really well, and it would be quite easy to expand it into a brand for the self-initiated project. Just a very quick thing. Don't make it a big deal. Literally just a day, and you've got that project done. Okay, not 2 weeks. So I think that's really good. The encode one, this is. Sorry, I'll just wait for it to open. This is fine. Obviously, because you've done it in processing and you didn't know how to do it any other way, the resolution is not amazing. Let me just quickly check. Yeah, what I actually asked for was 1280-720, which is HD proportions, so this could run on a screen. And obviously this is not HD proportions, so I would set it to 1920-1080 or I think in the brief I put 1280-720 as the one to work to. And then just again, it's simply an English thing. Examining, not examining, and it's the National Gallery, not Nations Gallery. But that's, you know, the small things. Otherwise, you know, I don't hate this. It just feels like there's not too much been changed with it. So, you know, there it is. It's done. It's fine. I saw the where is it? Did you save out some? I can't remember if you did. We played this one. Okay, so this is the moving one of this, and I think the other one was slightly different. I did play them both earlier. Yeah, so these tick the box without too much experimentation beyond the things that I gave you in the first place. So this is okay without being amazing, but it's done. So I think you could tick it off and concentrate on the other things. The one I have the issue really is the glitch. Okay, so the glitch, I can see this is sort of glitched a bit. I think the issue you've got is that your source materials are not rich enough. I think to glitch this was always a task. And obviously is this glitched at all? What I would do is I would get some images, some important images. I mean, for instance, even just today, there's been, let's go, yeah, all these images of the storming of Capitol Hill. They're amazing images, and they'd be quite good if you got some high res ones and you took a set of them and glitched them. I think that would be a great topical set of images to use. So if you find, say, 2 or 3 and just make very, very small, you know, do the JPEG, save as text, make small changes to the text, save back as JPEG, do that approach and just work through and just do a little bits at a time. And I think you'll get something that has more meaning and you will be more comfortable with. And again, you know, I think it's something that's quite quick. And just to show you how quick it would be, let me find some good images from it. Yeah, see, here we go. Let's just find this guy. Okay, so let's just grab him. Now he's JPEG. Okay, so I'm going to make a copy of him. And just to remind you, what I'm suggesting you do is you just go into here and you just change the extension. Let me just do this because the name is quite long. Let me just go. Let's call it glitch 1. Okay, so I'm just going to change it to TXT. It'll warn me. Are you sure? Yes, I want to use text. Open it up with open it up. Close this. Open it up with text edit. Or if you're on Windows, you need to find something that'll do it. And I'm just going to skip the first bit till we get a bit of a gap. Oh, this is not too big. So let's just take this line here and go X, Command X to cut it. And let's just paste it here. Okay, and do save. And then we'll just make a copy of that. And we'll just change this to JPEG. Are you sure? Yes. And let's just have a look at what that's done. Now, straight away, it's made an enormous change, but there are interesting things happening in here straight away. Okay, so I think that this would be quite a rich approach to take. Let me just see. Yeah, so I've gone too far with that, but that whole process took me 30 seconds. So I think you've just got to sit down and just say, I'm going to do 50 of these. Some of them will work really well, some of them won't. And it may be that you get lots of images like this. So let's just go back to, so for instance, to this, and make another copy. I'm going to call this one glitch 2. Okay, and we'll just make a copy of that. We'll make this into a TXT. Are you sure? Keep JPEG. Oh, sorry, I did that wrong. TXT. It'll say you're sure. Then what I'll do is I'll just make a copy of that. Then this is the one I'm going to edit, open with text edit. And this time I'm just going to take one line, X, and let's just put this one here and save, and just close that and change this back to JPEG. Let's see what that one's like. Now, there we go. So we've got 2 there. Now, if I had both of these, what I'd suggest to you is that you took both of these then and you drop them into Photoshop. Photoshop doesn't want to open them. It's saying they're so broken. If you do get that, the way to fix it is just to say open. So we've got them both as open in preview, and then you can just go save as or duplicate and just call this one 1 desktop, and we'll do this one duplicate, save, and we'll call this one 2, save. Normally that fixes it, so let's just put both of those into Photoshop. It's still saying it's broken, too broken, but let's just, oh, in actual fact we seem to have those 2, so we have got them now. So what I'm suggesting you do is you just go select all, copy, and then you just go paste, and then what we'll do is we'll just try changing the blending modes. Let's try. There we go. We're getting some interesting things happening here. Let's try exclusion. Screen looks good. Okay, so this is looking great. Now, if we just do File, Save As, and we'll call this glitch 3, and we'll save that one as a JPEG and save. Where is it? It's here somewhere. Glitch 3. Did I say? Ah, that's why. Glitch 3, there it is. Let's put that one there. Let's just make a copy of it. Let's change this to TXT. Oops. Okay, use text. I'm going to make a copy of that so we can come back to it. Open with text edit. And here you can see that we've got a slightly different looking file. So this time I'm going to go right to the bottom, and I'm just going to take that line there, X, and I'm just going to put it here, paste. Yep, and save, and close it. I bet this has broken it, but let's just see. JPG. Are you sure? Yes. It hasn't. All right, okay, so let's just see what this one looks like. All right, so now we're starting to get things happen down here. Okay, now just bit by bit and just keep building it up. Don't do any judgment of it yet. Just go for it and just start building this up. And what you should end up with is a whole series of images, which you would be able to put together into an animation. There's all sorts of things you'd be able to do. Okay, so that's my approach. Now, I think I've been going for what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. If you did this for 2 hours with almost the same image, or found other images and started laying them up, and they were all thematically relevant, I think that would be a great thing to do. What you've got is you've got images that currently don't have enough richness in to play with. So I think that just the coloured blocks, it's never going to produce anything interesting because the source material's not there. But if you chose contemporary images, relevant images that already people are aware of, and glitched them, and we talked about meaning and glitch, and this QAnon guy breaking into the White House, into the Capitol Hill building. There's an element of glitch in the meaning there too. Have a play. Right, that's the way to do this. So I think this could be a really fun thing to do. I wouldn't worry too much about the encode one, which I'm saying, it's done, it's there, it's tick, done. Okay. If you do a self-initiated, the self-initiated could be a development of the pattern. So take one of these ideas out into being a much more full branding approach, but do it really quick. Again, just a day, just spend a day on it. That's all it is. Done. All right. So I don't, there are things missing, there's gaps, some things that are just okay, some things that need a little bit of work, but what you've sent me is by no means bad at all. Right, so be reassured. I just need you to do it. Just trust me, just go with it, and we'll get you through and it'll be fine. Okay. And if we can avoid you having to apply for postponements and extensions, great. But if you need extensions, postponements, that's fine as well. Okay. So I'll support you whichever way, but just keep in touch and send me stuff, and I'll send you stuff back that looks like this, which you'll probably regret, but hopefully this helps. Okay. So stick with it. Do not panic. You're not as far behind as you think. We've got 3 weeks, and I think you're well within being able to complete, even if it's with the extension. Okay, but keep talking to me. Send me stuff, and I'll get back to you. Okay. Hope that helps. Cheers. Bye. Where's the stop? There it is.